What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So right now we're going to take a look at the Metazoo market, some of the items that are doing great, and we're going to talk about the market as a whole. So a lot of the collectibles market is down. If you haven't noticed, a lot of Pokemon across the entire spectrum is down from 50 to 70%. This is good. This is also bad. This is good in a way because you can end up picking up a lot of products that you've probably been eyeing for quite a while, but it's also bad because depending on when you bought these products, you could be down quite a bit. It doesn't mean sell. It doesn't mean it won't go back up. So as we talked about before, the economy is in a bad state right now, right? A lot of things are going down, not just collectibles. So you might be hyper focused with those blinders thinking that your product is going down like Metazoo and it's crashing, but understand that everything across the collectibles market, crypto stocks, any kind of these financial instruments are going down in value, and inflation is just skyrocketing and people are hurting right now in the economy. So it's only going to get worse. That means there's deals to be had, but it also means you're going to see a lot of your stuff go down in value, but it is okay. There are still things out there that are worth investing in. There are some things out there that are down by a lot, but they're still more affordable now than they were a while ago. For example, the first thing we're looking at is the sample cards, the Metazoo sample Mothman for Metazoo. And this card was a quite bit more expensive a few months ago. I've seen it as high as like $60,000 to $70,000 for this card. But right now you see this card is still selling even in May time frame, almost towards the end, for $33,000. So this card is still going to sell. You see right here in April, this card sold for $65,000. Now it was signed, but it was also sold for a very, very high premium at 65 bids. And as of May 16th, the Mothman sold for $33,000, almost half of that, but still a lot of money for a game that's been out for just a little over a year. Now moving on to the next thing, some cards that are also doing well, and I think they're going to do good for the long term, or any kind of sample cards for Metazoo. The playtester cards are doing okay, the gray border, but the sample cards being the first always are carrying a premium. Now, some of them have went down in value, but they are still holding quite a bit of good value. So if you are eyeing some to pick up, this would be a great time to do so, as the market has tanked or fell sharply over the last few weeks to few months. And you can see right here on these sample cards, like the Fire Elemental PSA 10 is $4,500. It just sold on June 9th. And you have a bunch of other samples in the $1,000 range, above the $1,000, $700, and just a bunch of good prices. Now, bear in mind, as the market tends to go down, there's a lot of cards where people are going to still desire that PSA 10. That PSA 10 is probably still going to carry the most amount of value. And that's because when the market was really high, especially with Pokemon, people were buying whatever they could afford, whether it was a PSA 6, a 7, an 8, possibly a 9. But now that the market is down and people can shoot for a 10 and have that perfect grade, people are going to want those 10s and still possibly those 9s, but people might shy away right now from those 6s and those 7s while the market is down. Now, moving over to secret rares, right? So you also have your secret rares in Metazoo. These cards tend to basically hold their value. So you have the Red Ink, which was the first secret rare, still holding strong, right? June 7th at $11,700 from 30 bids. Really, really good. And you have your Blue Ink right here. There was a best offer accepted. So this is pretty cheap for a secret rare. I believe you can get it like in the low $1,000 range, possibly. I've seen somebody trading one on a Discord server as well. So you can find this for a pretty good deal. Now, any kind of secret rare, even though that some are, less valuable, being the Blue Ink is not as valuable as the Red Ink, I still think that it is a great pickup to secure. So be looking at those secret rares. Definitely, they're super, super rare, so they should hold their value over the long term for Metazoo. Now, moving over to some other products that are doing well right now. Recently, the Revive products came out for Nightfall, and they are doing very, very well. So the boxes are holding strong right around $200 to $220. And you see the Soul Gamble on June 10th actually just sold for $921.75 at 27 bids. This is one of the rare cards in the set. You also have the Mothman, which is doing quite well. It's selling for quite a premium as well. Here's one right here for June 8th, selling at $1,003. All right, so moving over to the adjacent market, right? So Metazoo also has an adjacent market. So if you're not into the collectible portion with cards, not everybody is. People do collect other items, just like you have your Funko Pop collectors. And I'm pretty sure, right, Metazoo has a Funko collaboration coming very soon. So a lot of people, I'm sure, will be highly, highly excited for that. But you have your adjacent market, and that means there's items that Metazoo creates, right? They're different product verticals, which are also going to go up in value, but some has come down as well, but could be a good hold over the long term. So just like Pokemon's IP, they have a bunch of different collectible products, whether it be plushies, skateboards, toys, and stuff like that. So the Funkos will come out. I think they will honestly be a great pickup, one of the best pickups, because Funkos can hold a lot of value. You have your skateboard right here from Revive, sold for $200, which is really, really decent for that. And they have a bunch of other stuff, including stuff like the recent plushies selling for right around $100. You got 400 right here, some other stuff for the Collecticon bundle right here with the exclusive promo and the plushie. And the plushie selling for right around 160 to 200 bucks. So there are some other adjacent items that Metazoo has that can sell for quite a premium. Now, the last thing we're looking at right here is if you're not trying to buy stuff that is really, really expensive, but you want to crack some product, this is also a great time to do so. A lot of these booster boxes were pretty pricey, but right now, a lot of it has come down in value, especially your Cryptid Nation First Edition, where they were like $1,200, even as high as like $1,500 months and months ago. But right now, you can get them pretty low. I've seen them as low as like $495 to like $550, especially on the social media marketplaces like Facebook and Instagram. You can get them in your Discord servers, do some trades. Be careful with trades because you can get ripped off. But somebody who's reputable, you can get some really, really good deals, especially if somebody's trying to trade and jump off a Pokemon or vice versa, right? So depending on what you're trying to get. But you can see right here on TCG Player that a lot of these booster boxes on the market value has come down, and a lot of it is either trending downwards or it is trending sideways. But right now, being able to grab a second edition booster box for only $78 is a pretty good deal to crack a box with a lot of packs, and you can get your hands on some Metazoo and play the cards, especially if you're trying to get into competitive play, and Metazoo is going to continue their tournaments, right, and up the stakes each and every year for a higher payout. So if you really want to get into the game, this is the time to do so while the prices are very, very low as the game expands. You also have Wilderness as low as $88. And like I said, on different platforms, you can possibly get the booster boxes even less than this. So you might want to be on the lookout for that. But if you want to increase your collection, then do that, right? But also, the last thing I really want to mention is diversification. You always want to pay attention to that no matter what you're investing in and holding, whether it be gold, silver, if you're looking at crypto stocks, NFTs, collectibles, Pokemon, Metazoo, it doesn't matter what it is. It's best to buy 100 different items instead of putting all of your eggs into one basket and buying 100 of the same item. And what I mean by that, the FOMO kicks in, right? UFO comes out and you want to buy 100 UFO boxes and invest into it. That would not be a good play unless you're going to sell them rather rapidly and you think that they're going to go up. Because bear in mind, when the hype is there, the products tend to go up in value. Post-release, they start to go down. When there's enough supply out there and demand decreases, a lot of people don't want it anymore, right? They have their collections and they start to sell it. Right now, I see a lot of people leaving Metazoo or selling their collections for very, very cheap, which is great for the people who want to buy it, but it's going to tank a lot of those prices. So you have to bear that in mind. You want to wait. When that hype is there, UFO is going to be expensive. Pre-orders are not really released yet, so you want to be careful with that, who you're buying from. And you also want to bear in mind that when you buy pre-orders early, it's going to be like an MSRP level, which is going to be a lot more expensive, especially on Metazoo Marketplace, than you're going to see as some LGSs. So bear that in mind. I hope you got something from this video. If you got some comments, if you want to talk about it, chit chat, hit me up, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you can get this content. Don't forget, we got that 1,000 subscriber giveaway coming up very soon. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're having a blessed day, and I'll see y'all later. Out.